report. And that is all I ask. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. So, our topic for today is about introduction to resource management and conservation. May I call Annabel Apostol?
Good afternoon, everyone. Klaro ra ba akong tingog? Kusog mga ulan sa
Hello.
okay ra? Dili ra putol-putol.
Iya,
Okay, sige, thank you. So, introduction to resource management and conservation. This topic is all about how we use and protect our natural resources in a responsible way so that this can still be used by future generations. Resource management, ito na, okay, is the careful planning, use, and protection of natural resources like water, land, forest, and minerals to make sure they are used efficiently and sustainably. So, if dili na to pangalagaan atong mga natural resources without thinking sa possibility na mahitabo tomorrow or in the future, we might run out of these resources like water, land, forest, and minerals, and nga of course maka-harm sa ato ang nature. And then next, conservation means protecting and preserving the environment and natural resources to prevent damage, extinction, or loss. So we people should take good care of the environment and natural resources para dili sila ma-damage or mawala. Why man? Because nature gives us everything. The clean air, fresh water, food, and even medicine. So, if we don't protect our nature, we could lose all these benefits. So, resource management is all about using natural resources wisely, while the conservation is all about protecting nature so that we don't lose it. And example ani is kuan, di ba kasagara sa bantaw kay maglabay og basura sa dagat, and what will happen sa mga creatures nga nagpuyo dadto sa dagat, possibility nga mamatay sila, and ang mga fishermen dayon is kanang wala sila makuha bitaw, wala sila makuha sa ilang pagpangisda. And then so kung dili ta maglabay og basura dadto sa dagat, so ang sea life stays healthy and people can continue to benefit from it. And next slide, Erika. Okay. So conservation that offer or implement by the government. So naatay mga conservation diri nga gikuan sa government. First is the National Greening Program or NGP, launched by the Department of Environment and Natural Resources or DNR. So ang pasabot ani is plant more trees or a big tree planting projects led by DENR to grow more trees to bring back the greening in our environment. Of course, para stop flooding or kanang mga landslide and reduce population. So that's why kanang importante kayo nga mag tree planting ta. Plus atong kuan katong sa kuan bitaw mga in STP katong sa ato ang unsa gani tong kuan nato sa NSTV gani.
CWTS?
Diba, OTC dayon. Oh, nauna dunggan. Basta ba utang kuan gani first apo datong gikuan nila ni Sir Liwat nga nag tree planting sila. So mo na siyang rason. And CWTS. Thank you, Lynn. And second, NEPAS. NEPAS Act RA 7586 and RA 11038. So, ang NEPAS is the National Integrated Protected Area System to protect the country's natural resources and biodiversity. So this law protects natural areas like mountains, forests, rivers that are full of plants and animals to make sure that endangered species and natural wonders are safe from harm. So, and kuan sad ning makahelp po ni siya to ensure clean water and air, support sustainability livelihoods para sa mga tao, and preserves natural beauty for our future generations, and of course improving human well-being and quality of life. And then third, Ecological Solid Waste Management Act RA 9003, enforced by DENR with LGUs. So, sa NIPAS DI, kanang kinsay nakakonsenyo sa Puerto Princesa Underground River? Kakano na or wala? Wala? O, sige. Ang kanadang ko ng Puerto Princesa Underground River is a protected area. Kay because of aning NIPAS Act, kay kanang dito kuno sila kay dili pwede makakuan og mga balay or makahunt og mga animals. Kay kuno kay ang reason is para makasurvive padayon ang ilahang ecosystem. Ana daw to siya. And then the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act is a law that tells people to properly throw garbage, segregate, and proper waste disposal to protect the environment such as land, rivers, and seas from mga basura. So, nakakuan po, sa inyohang kanabitang barangay, di ba, naa may tigkulikta o basura? Naa sa inyo or sa muara?
Yes, naa.
Di ba kay ginakuan gid sa barangay nga i-segregate ang basura into biodegradable and non-biodegradable. And sa amo diri is kung dili bitaw ma-segregate og tarong ang basura kay dili nila ikolekta. And naapoy ka na kung dili pod ka makolektahan sa inyong balay, wala may basura nga gikuan kay makamulta. Amot lang kung sa amo aba or same Japon sa uban. Wala po kabalo. Then next slide. Okay. Clean Water Act and Clean Air Act. So, this law help keep our water and air clean by controlling population from factories, cars, and other sources to make sure people have safe water to drink and clean air to breathe. And then, Bantay Gubat, Bantay Dagat. Community programs under DENR and BFAR, Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources. So these are community-based programs that supported by DENR and BFAR, who help or watch over the forests and oceans to prevent illegal logging and fishing. So ang DENR, national government agency in charge of taking care of environment and natural resources like forest, rivers, land, air, and wildlife. While the BFER, government agency under the Department of Agriculture that focuses or guard on fish, oceans, rivers, and marine life. So, Canada is to help keep our natural resources healthy. And may I call to the next reporter to discuss the conservation that offer or implemented by the non-government.
So, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Annabelle. So, Kaganina is implemented by the government, and today I will be discussing the conservation that offer or implement by the non-government. So, let's have first the Haribon Foundation. So, the Haribon Foundation is this is a this is a famous group in the Philippines that helps protect nature and animals. So Haribon, they work to save forest, birds, and other wildlife so that future generation can enjoy them too. So ang Haribon teaches kanabitang ang Haribon groups, sila ang magtudlo sa mga bata on how important the birds, the forest, and also sila said they also plant trees in areas where forests were cut down. So that's the Haribon Foundation. Next we have WWF Philippines. This is the Philippine branch of the big global group called Worldwide Fund Worldwide Fund for Nature. So kaning ang WWF is they help protect the environment by caring for wildlife, fighting climate change, and promoting clean energy. So ang WWF sila di ay ang gatabang sa mga fisherman nga maggamit og kanabitang mga say tawagan ng fish net ba tawag ana, alagi basta ingana sila ang mag-help nga magamit or sila ang nag-implement nga magamit ana, and ginabawal pud sa ilaha gyud, or bisan karon ginabawal pud nila nga magamit or mag magkuha og mga gagmay nga fish. So that's the WWF Philippines. So next we have Masungi Georeserve Foundation. So this group protects forest and teaches people about the environment. They take care of a special mountain area called Masungi, where they grow trees and stop people from destroying nature. So ang Masungi staff build ang Masungi staff kay gabuild sila og kanang fences bitaw, kanang mura siya mura sila og kanang ay sila ang kanabitaw gabutang og kanabitaw di ba na ay mga trails nga kanang when it comes to sa mountain. So kumbaga sila ang gakuan ana murag sila gatukod or gatanom sa mga ingana nga kahoy, and then kanang sila pod ang gabantay sa mga mountains nga kanang naibitoy buhatan nga illegal logging. Yeah, so mo na siya. So next please, Erica. So next is Marine Wildlife Watch of the Philippines. So kaning group focuses on sea animals like dolphins, whales, and dugongs. So they work to protect these marine mammals and make sure people don't harm them or their homes in the ocean. So for example, kung naay dolphin nga ma-stranded sa beach, so kani nga mga grupo sila ang mag-rescue sa dolphin para makabalik dito sa ocean nga safe. So sila nga group ang Marine Wildlife Watch of the Philippines. So next is the Philippine Eagle Foundation. This group helps save the endangered Philippine eagle. They work with the government and the people in local communities to protect this special bird and its forest home. So ang Philippine Eagle Foundation is sila ang kung nakanib itong mga baby eagle, so kumbaga sila ang kanang magpadako, sila ang mag-atiman, and then kung madako na ayhan na daw nila buhian. So yeah, so next slide. Okay, let's proceed to the principles of resource management and conservation across the ecosystem types. So this involves how responsibility use, protect, and sustain the natural resources found in different biomes, which are aquatic ecosystem like ocean, rivers, lakes, and terrestrial ecosystem like forest and deserts and grasslands. So we already know naman about anino kay na discuss naman sa other group, but we will discuss pagyapon ani kay kanang part man siya sa amo ang kuan reporting. So next please. So these are the types of ecosystem. We have terrestrial and aquatic. Next. So terrestrial ecosystem is a land-based community of organisms and the interactions of biotic and abiotic components in a given area. So as a terrestrial ecosystem, they na ay forest, ang forest, grassland, tundra, and desert. Next. So kabalo naman kuno nga kanang kabalo na mo kung unsa mga forest, grassland kay kapila naman nato siya gi-discuss. So yes, so ako na lang basahon kung unsay meaning sa mga forest and yeah. So a forest is an area of land dominated by trees and animals that live in the coordination with abiotic factors in the environment. So forest is an area of land dominated by trees and animals, no? So next is the grassland. The grassland ecosystem, the vegetation is dominated by grasses and herbs. So tundra, in physical geography, tundra is a type of biome where the tree growth is hindered by low temperatures and short growing seasons. So desert is a barren area of landscape where little precipitation occurs and consequently living conditions are hostile for plant and animal life. Oh no. Next. So again, kabalo na ta about the excited kasi Erica, the aquatic ecosystem. We have freshwater and marine. Next. Erica, please. So, we all know na ang freshwater is ang freshwater is mo ni siya ang have no salt content in contrast with the marine ecosystem. So, ang marine, the marine ecosystem includes seas and ocean. These have more substantial salt content and greater biodiversity in comparison to the freshwater ecosystem. Okay, next please. So that's the end of my part. So thank you everyone.
Madunggan na ba ko?
Yes, sir.
Morning.
Yes.
Good. I will be reporting the key principles of resource management and conservation. First is the sustainability. Use resources in ways that ensure future generations can also benefit from them. Sustainability is means that using resources in a way that meets our current needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. It's about finding balance between economic, social, and environmental needs. Um, sa sustainability is pareha sa giingon ni Reina og ni si Annabelle is for magamit pa sa future mga generations. Next is biodiversity protection. Maintain the variety of life, plants, animals, and microorganisms. And biodiversity protection involves conserving and managing ecosystems to maintain their rich variety of plants and animal life. This is crucial for ecosystem resilience, supporting ecosystem services like pollination and pest control, maintaining genetic diversity. Next is the carrying capacity awareness. Avoid overusing the environment beyond its capacity to recover. So, dili na to siya pasubraan og gamit. So, carrying capacity refers to the maximum amount of resource use or development that an ecosystem can support without suffering long-term damage. It's about not exceeding nature's ability to renew its life, itself. Next is ecosystem approach. Ecosystem approach manage resources by understanding the entire ecosystem, not just one part. So, sa ecosystem approach is considers the interconnectedness of all components within an ecosystem. It involves managing resources in a holistic way, taking into account the relationship between the species and the environment, the impact of human activities on ecosystems, and the importance of ecosystem services. Sa ecosystem approach is amo na to. Next is the equity and participation. Involved in local communities and ensure fair access to resources. So, there is equity and participation. It involves ensuring that all stakeholders, especially local and indigenous communities, are included in decision making process. These principles promotes fair distribution of benefits and costs, respect for traditional knowledge and rights, and the community engagement and ownership. So, diri sa equity is dapat ginakuha na to ang kung magamit ta ng isa ka lugar or natay ginabuhat sa isa ka sa atong environment is dapat i-consider nato ang mga tawo nga nagpuyo dira or ang mga lagay ng mga tao nga especially sa indigenous communities aron dili sila matandog ingana. Next is the precautionary principle. So, precautionary principle when a doubt about the effects of action cause the safest option. Sa precautionary principle is the precautionary principle suggested that when there is uncertainty about the potential harm of an activity or technology, it's better to err on the side of caution and avoid or minimize the potential harm. This also promotes cautious decision making, prioritizing environmental and human health, encouraging sustainable development. Diri sa precautionary principle, if nakita ni mga dili siya maayo for environment kini nga technology or kini nga like for example lang ha, dam dili siya murag kuan ay naiguan ni nga kuan sa environment. So mag-decide na lang ka nga dili na lang siya ipadayon kay kini lagi ang maigo. Next reporter will be Angela. Angela?
Good afternoon, everyone. Kanang, klaro ba, ay maklaro niyo ang tingog?
Yes, Angie.
Yes.
Thank you. So, the key principles ay kaning continue sa key principles of resource management and conservation. Pollution control, reduce harmful emissions and waste. So, kaning like sa aso, chemicals, o mga basura sa tubig, ma-maintain ang kahilo sa atong environment o ang health pod sa mga tao ay ang sa nature. Next is the monitoring and evaluation. Constantly observe, assess, and improve management strategies. So this involves checking how well environmental protection plans are working. Mag-ang kaog kaning ay kanabitang magtanom ka og so dapat dili lang siya is kanang human nimog tanom imong biyaan. So dapat kay kuan gyud tanaw nimo kung nitubo na ba dayon og makita nimo nga naay problema sa kanang sa imong pagtanom or sa imong gitamnan kay usahay mo gud is kanang nas or kanang bitang sagbuton kaayo nga area. So ka og kanang lahi nga mga pamaagi nga mas tanong. Then next is of poor management, loss of biodiversity. So if animals like turtles, those animals can disappear forever. Then and erosion. If farmers use too being healthy and can't grow good crop, nako siya atong last time made katubitaw siya din. Next, water pollution and scarcity. So water gets polluted or kanang wala na kanang enough bitaw nga water nga hinlo tungod sa kanang paglabay sa mga basura, especially sa kanang sasapa. Then next is climate change and natural disasters. So climate change make floods, droughts and storms worse. Example is ang pagpamutol og kahoy kanang because there's nothing to absorb the rain. Then next is the collapse of ecosystems. So places like coral reef break down and can't support life anymore if we catch too many fish in the ocean. And then next is food insecurity. So not enough food. So when droughts happen, crops like rice or corn is kanabitang dili na magtarong og kanang ay dili na siya walay tarong nga pagtubo is kanang we the people have less to eat. Then next is the conflict over resources. Example, kung kulang ang limpyo nga tubig sa kanang ang mga lugar or kanang sa other nga countries, then mahimo siya nga kanang resources. Next is next slide, Erica. So the practices and for reforestation and afforestation. Kani siya is kanang ang pagpananom og kahoy kana bitaw ang balik sa lugar nga gipang putol nga kahoy o ang pagpananom sa lahi nga area. Then controlled logging og kanang magputol og kahoy dapat is kanang limit lang then magamping kahoy aron dili ma-damage ang uban nga kahoy labi na to ang mga katubit ang bag-o nga areas. Kaning mong protektahan ang kinaiyahan ug dili ano bitaw mga samok-samukan. And then indigenous forest management practices. So using the traditional ways of native people to care for forests nga natural ayo sa kanang sa tuwa bitang diri sa kalibutan. Like for example, kanang sila ay ang nanom og klase-klase nga mga tanom bitaw applyan og kanang chemicals. Next is in marine ecosystems. So how to take care of the ocean and marine life. So first is marine protected areas. Mao ni siya ang kanang special zone sa dagat nga ang then harming wildlife is not allowed. It's like a safe home o kanang wala po samok. Then next is the sustainable fishing. Mga fishermen mag-follow og kanang rules. Example, limits and seasonal bans. Naay panahon nga dili pwede mangisda ang mga mangingisda. Aron na pod panahon nga kanang isda. Then next is coral reef restoration programs. Ang sa mga nadaot nga coral reef through sa pagpananom og bagong coral sa palibot. Next slide please. In freshwater systems, watershed protection. So these are ways to these are ways to take care of rivers, lakes, and clean water. So ang pag-atiman sa kuan pod sa yuta o nga nakapalibot sa kanang malikayan ang kanang mga basura o gugaw tubig. And then anti-pollution regulations. These either are rules to stop people or factories from throwing waste into the water. Then constructing buffer ba? Ayun say, correct me if I'm wrong. Buffer. About zones around rivers, lakes. So people build green spaces or barriers like sa mga grass o kanang mga trees dol sa sapa to catch pollution before it reaches the water. Next slide. In this kanang mo ni siya or gamiton ang mga pamaagi sa kanang pag-uma aron magpadayon anti-desertification strategies. So dapat magtanom og kanang mas daghan nga kahoy using water wisely or improving farming techniques. So sustainable grazing management. So sobra ang mga hayop og samot na sa isa lang ka lugar like sa kanang aron kanang the land stay green and healthy. Next slide. The difference between resource allocation and resource management. The resource allocation, so tas-tas naman siya basahon, ako na lang siya ikuan na lang kung unsa ilang differences. So the resource allocation is muna siya ang kanabitong pag-apod-apod. So kanang kinsa ang tagaan, pila iyahang kanang makuha. Example lang nako ang kuan. Syempre na ay kaning cake
Angela, putol-putol ka, Angela. Angela? Madunggan pa ko.
Hello, good afternoon. Po, mana mo?
Wala,
Wala
ay,
pa.
Angela?
Okay, so ni-left siya, Erica. Naka-left siya. Wala
Naka-left
yan.
siya. At
Mm-mm.
tingnan ko, abi akong net ang wala ba?
Ay,
Wala
fuck.
ko nagtulong.
Okay, for resource allocation, muna siya ang process of deciding where and how resource will be used or distribute. So, ang example niya is allocating water for agriculture, drinking, and industrial use. Kung o the government assigning land for farming versus housing versus conservation. So, it is about who gets what, how much, and for what purpose. Muna siya ang resource allocation. Then, muna siya usually done by governments, organizations, or communities. Next is the resource development. So, this is the process of discovering, improving, and making resource usable. So, kanang bitang ilahang i-improve o kuan nila nga magamit ni siya. So it's about turning natural resources into something useful for human benefit o often involves technology, research, and infrastructure. So ang example ani niya is magdig og well bitaw to access groundwater, building irrigation systems for farming, and exploring and developing geothermal energy sources. So muna siya ang resource development. It is discovering, ensuring, and making resource says usable. Next is the resource management. So this is about planning, monitoring, and controlling of resource use to ensure they are used wisely and sustainability. So i-manage ni ang koan. So it about balancing usage and conservation and also helps protect resources from being overused or wasted. So example ani niya kay setting fishing limits to prevent overfishing, managing forests to allow logging while protecting biodiversity, and implementing waste segregation and recycling of programs. So kasagara nga ang sa resource allocation ihang ma-focus ato kay kinsa ang makakuha sa resource, and sa resource development how do we access or improve it, and sa resource management how do we use it sustainably. So muna siya ang difference nilang tolo. So next, Erica, so let's proceed to the history of the resource management. So good day again, everyone. So I am excited to share with you something very important, not just for our environment, but also for our future. So when we talk about resource management, we are actually talking about how we use and protect our water, land, forests, minerals, and even human energy so that we can survive, grow, and help the next generation. Now, let's take a journey through time and understand how people across history manage resources from ancient survival to today's sustainable development. So, first is let's start with the ancient times. So, thousands of years ago, civilization like Egyptians, Mesopotamians, and Chinese were already practicing basic resource management. So they built irrigation system to bring water from rivers to farmlands. So this allows them to grow crops even during dry seasons. And they also stored grains to prepare for times of drought or food shortage. Also in China, they practice terrace farming, so which is a way of planting a mountainside to prevent soil erosion. And across the world, indigenous communities, including early Filipinos, manage forests, rivers, and farmlands using traditional knowledge. They only took what they needed and respected nature deeply. So, this early form of management was not based on money, but on survival and respect for the earth. So, that is the ancient times. More on survival and harmony with nature. So, next is the Middle Ages to Renaissance. So, as time, as time passed into the Middle Ages, especially in Europe, land becomes symbol of power and wealth. So this in the feudal system, kings and nobles owned large areas of lands and peasants worked it. So forests, rivers, and even lakes were restricted. Only landowners could control how they were used. So in this time, land became the symbol of power and wealth. And in this period, resource use was still for local survival. But as the population increased, deforestation and overfarming started to cause problems. Here in the Philippines, before the Spanish came, land was usually managed by the barangay. But colonization introduced private ownership and the focus shifted to extracting resources like gold, spices, and timber for export. So this was when we started to see conflicts over who controls resources, a problem that still exists today. Next is the industrial revolution. So now we move into the industrial revolution. So around the 18th to 19th century, this is when machines, factories, and new technologies changes the world. So to fuel the machines, we needed, of course, the tons of coal, iron, wood, and water. So this led to massive deforestation, air and water pollution, and dangerous mining practices. So, in London, thick fogs become deadly due to coal smoke. This is called the Great Smog. And in the Philippines, colonizers continue to extract resources with little concern for local communities or the environment. So, at this time, there were no environmental laws, and nature was seen mainly as a tool for industry. So this era shows us that unchecked development can cause serious harm to both people and nature. So in the Industrial Revolution, it is fast growth and huge damage. Next is the 20th century. So this is the birth of modern resource management. So in the 90s, especially after World War II, countries started to realize that natural resources were not unlimited. So by the 1960s and 70s, many environmental problems were too big to ignore, like oil spills, dying rivers, and vanishing forests. So this led to the first Earth Day in 1970 and the Stockholm Conference in 1972. So this is the first global meeting about the environment, and the famous Brundtland Report in 1987, which introduced the idea of sustainable development. So this century start the awareness and action about our nature, about our environment. And in the Philippines, we also saw change. So the DENR, the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, were established. So the laws like the Clean Air Act, Clean Water Act, and the NEPAS Act were passed to protect ecosystems. So people started asking, how can we meet today's needs without destroying tomorrow's? So the question became the heart of modern resource management. So this is the part where already awareness and action begins na. And in the 21st century, it is sustainable and global approach. So today, in the 21st century rather, resource management is no longer just a local or natural issues. It's a global responsibility. So we are facing big problems such as climate change, forest loss, polluted oceans, and unfair access to clean water and food. And all it now also includes the 3S, the environment, economy, and equity, making sure we meet today's needs without harming future generations. But we also have new tools na sa the GIS mapping. So this is and satellite tracking and AI, which help us monitor land and water use. And also international agreement like the Paris Climate Agreement encourage all countries to reduce pollution. And the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, guide us in managing resources fairly and wisely. So in the Philippines, we are making progress, just like Project NOAA warned us about disasters, and renewable energy from wind and solar is expanding, and students and youth groups are leading climate strikes and awareness campaigns. So the resource management now, yeah, that is what the 3S, which meaning we manage resource not just for profit, but for people and the planet. And to conclude this, so in ancient times, people respected nature and used resources for survival. And in the Middle Ages, land was power, but overuse became a problem. So, and during the Industrial Revolution, we advanced quickly, but of course, it damaged the earth. And in the 20th century, we woke up and began creating policies to protect nature. And now, in the 21st century, we are combining science, law, and cooperation to achieve sustainable and fair resource management. So let's remember, we all use resources every day, from the water we drink, to the electricity we use, to the food we eat. So it's up to all of us to become responsible stewards of nature. Next, Erica. Okay, so thank you for listening. I hope we all remember that resource management is not just a topic in school, it's a way of life. Our action today will decide what kind of environment we leave for future generations. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Kami na ba?
Go, Sage. Come on.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Mag-share screens ako. And by the way, who's responsible for for the recording? So, nag-record. Ay, nag-record ba? Okay, mag-proceed na ako. Mag-share screens ako. Window. Makita ninyo?
Yes. Message.
Ay. Saan yun eh? Wait lang guys ha. Oh my God. Makita na? Nag-move siya, everyone.
Yes. Yes.
Nag-move siya, no? Am I audible? Dili ra gakuan akong tingog.
Okay lang.
Okay. Okay, good afternoon everyone. So we are the group 7 So this afternoon we will be discussing the SDG, or the Sustainable Development Goals, the 3 pillars, and the environmental ethics. So allow me to start our discussion. So first we have the Sustainable Development Goals. So introduction. So the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, and also known as the Global Goals, were adopted by all United Nations member states in 2015 as universal call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that all people enjoy peace and prosperity by 2030. So 2030 pata makakuan ha. Peace and prosperity. Charot. So they build on the Millennium Development Goals, or MDGs, which ended in 2015. The SDGs are integrated. That is, they recognize that action is one area will affect outcomes in others. Gana kay ba? And that development must balance social, economic, and environmental sustainability. Madungog ra ko, everyone.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So let's proceed to the history of the SDGs. So ako na siyang ginapang breakdown ha, for us to be kanang dali ra siya ma-understood sa tanan. So we have here in early international cooperation. So countries here started to work together to tackle problems such as addressing the poverty, kaning hunger, and of course the environmental issues separately. But they treated each issue separately, as I said, without seeing how they were connected. So in the Rio Declaration in 1992, it is a major conference to introduce the idea of sustainable development, which means balancing economic growth, social fairness, and protecting the environment. And this lead to Agenda 2021 in 1992. So it is a plan for global action, but many countries struggled to fully put it into practice. So that's why nagkuha na din sila og the Millennium Development Goals, or MDGs, in year 2000 to 2015. So they build on the ideas sa katong Rio, as I said, from Rio, and then the MDGs were created na. And then ang MDGs, na siya 8 goals that focus on poverty reduction, tapos health and education. While MDGs achieved some success, they were criticized for not covering areas, covering not enough areas, and for not working well together. So, in post kanang 2015 Development Agenda, extensive consultations led to development of SDGs. So, katoy lang na nga criticisms nga ilang na dawat sa Millennium Development Goals, yung nag-reflect sila itong government, mga businesses, tanan, nagtipok-tipok sila tanan, na nag-reflect sila kung unsa pagid ang mga improvement ilang kuan. And that is why nga nung by year 2015, nakuha na dayon, napanganak na si SDG. So in 2015, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, were adopted. These goals are more connected and cover a wider range of issues, emphasizing collaboration and ensuring that no one is left behind. So, again, in 2015, dato na din siya nabuo si SDG, and it has a 17 interconnected goals addressing a broader range of challenges. And now, the present implementation and monitoring ongoing pa ang efforts nila to achieve the goals and objectives in 2030 agenda. Sabtan, everyone. So now let's proceed to the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So first we have number 1, the no poverty. So no poverty, it says here that end poverty in all its forms everywhere. Napa mo diha? Hello?
Yes po.
Yeah,
Wala
yes.
pa di ay. Binakog koan. Now, kani siya, it involves reducing extreme poverty rates, providing social protection, and promoting inclusive economic growth that everyone can benefit. So, ang focus yun ani or aim ani niya kay mga strategies like creating kanang creating tools na nun, creating jobs and improving access to resources and strengthening social safety nets. So, one example ani kay kanang ako lang example lang murag igo magyapon siya. Ang 4-piece bitaw, kanang 4-piece here in the Philippines. Kana siya di ba gahatag man na siya mga cash transfers programs. Ay siya cash transfer program siya nga ga-help na siya sa mga daghan og mga anak or katong mga families nga low income nagkuan siya mga low income nga families nga na bitaw. So that is one of the example. Next is the SDG 2, the goal 2, the zero hunger. It says here that it end hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture. So that is the goal number 2. So it aims to ensure everyone has access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food that focus on sustainable agricultural practices, reducing food waste, and improving food distribution system. So, ako yung example ani ka here in Manila Fortich na the LGU na sila ginakuha niya program sa each barangay. Kana nga program kay we called it the Gulayan sa Tukaran. Am I right? Diba nga na? Namoy nga na or kanang sa Purok, di ba na yung mga tawag na basta kanang mga gulayan sa chuchu sa mga
Yes,
Purok. Wow, perfect. Very good sa inyo ha and sa tibok world. Oh, na nga na, masaya nga na ba? So, nga na siya makakuan man na siya kanang maka-help na siya ba to kanang para mitigate bitaw ning zero hunger or masolba ning goal 2, the zero hunger. Next is the goal 3, the good health and well-being. So it ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages. So this involves improving access to healthcare, preventing and treating diseases, promoting mental health, and addressing health inequalities. It aims on universal health coverage, disease prevention programs, and health education. So, akong example ani kay during the pandemic o katong the COVID-19 no. So highlight gyud adto nga kan di ba wala mo gitay kuan ato wala ang mga trabaho wala na ano na dita ka eskwela dita ka gawas nga na. So di ba kuan gyud to nila dadto nga kanang matagaan gyud ta og mga vaccines kita gyud tanan equitable access to vaccination nga to nga time to vaccine para lang gyud mabaksinan ta and ma-prevent na to ang mga kanang health issues such as katong COVID-19. So kato siya ni-emphasize to niya ang kaimportante nga na-address good ang kuano health inequalities. So next is the goal 4, the quality education. So ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. So this aims to provide quality education for all regardless of the background or location. Focus on access to education, improving the quality of teaching, and promoting lifelong learning opportunities. So that is a quality education. Very sabotable naman no kay more kita tanan naka-avail sa quality education. Especially katong nag-shift bitaw ta sa katong blended learning nga nanay online. Di ba mas ang education ato kay mas quality kay na integrate na gyud ang technology ba. And of course, with integration of technology, kita as a learners, as a students, no, mas naka-adapt pag ta sa kanang pagtuon bitaw nato kay dali ra kay ta maka-access sa mga resources and everything ingana. So next is the goal 5, the gender equality. So kaning gender equality na we already tackled this kay mga subject. So we are very familiar for this. So this is to achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. So namo gid stereotypes nga ang babae kay kanang mas lower siya sa boy nga na bitaw something, or in the post Spanish colonial nga era nga, or sa Philippine nga tong history nga ang babae kay narayo na sa makita nimo sa kuan simo sa balay, and even dili na sa ginasan sa school nga na bitaw kay ang tanan ra nga kuan kay para lagi sa lalaki nga nga. So kani nga number 5 nga goal kay maka-empower yun sa women and girls, and of course ang quality pod. So ang gina-aim gud niya ani is to provide quality education. Kani nga gina-aim niya is to provide gender equality in all aspect of life, from education and employment to political participation and decision making. So that's it for the goal 5, which is the gender equality. So next is the goal 6, the clean water and sanitation. So clean water and sanitation ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. So this involves ensuring access to safe and clean water and sanitation facilities for everyone. It aims on improving water infrastructure, promoting water conservation, and managing water resources sustainability. So example, I've searched some places na kanang napa sila crisis no when it terms to kanang tubig no. So ongoing water crisis in Flint and Michigan, where residents face lead contaminated drinking water, highlights the urgent need for improved water management infrastructure no. As we know na kanang more basic man jud kay nato ning consumption ang tubig no, if kanang contaminated ang tubig nga atong ginainom, so mag-lead po siya sa ato ang mga health issues. So that's why muna ang gina-focus sa goal 6. So goal 7. Napamodera everyone? Class?
Yes po, Sage.
All right. So thank you. Let's proceed. Now let's continue. So goal number 7 is the affordable and clean energy. So it says here that it ensures access to affordable and reliable, sustainable and modern energy for all. So this involves transitioning to clean and renewable energy sources, improving energy efficiency, and ensuring access to energy for all. And it focuses on renewable energy technologies, energy efficiency measures, and sustainable energy infrastructure. For example, di ba, especially sa mga developed countries, ay naman sa tadarino sa Philippines, even though we're still developing countries, under the developing country, gakuan magyapunta, nanay-yapunta yung mga, kanang mga invest na punta sa mga solar panels and wind energy ng mga project. Kana siya, ang kuan na niya is to reduce reliance on fossil fuels, no? And of course, to combat climate change. So, dapat tanan na gyud ta, no? Mag-shift na gyud ta, especially tanan tao diri sa kalibutan tali. Tanan countries mag-shift na unta ta sa kuan mga sustainable energy resources. So, now let's proceed to the goal 8, which is the SDG 8, the decent work and economic growth. So, promote sustained, inclusive and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. So this involves creating decent jobs, promoting economic growth that benefits everyone, and reducing inequality, focus on job creation, skills and development, and fair labor practices. So now may I call on Ms. Jasmine to proceed to the SDG 9 to 17.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yes, you are, Ms. Jasmine.
Yes po.
Okay, thank you. So, SDG 9, Industry, Innovation, and Infrastructure. So, stated here, build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation, which means is to meet future challenges or industries, and infrastructure must be upgraded. So for this, we need to promote innovative, sustainable technologies and ensure nga equal and universal access to information and financial markets. This will bring prosperity, create jobs, and make sure that we build stable and prosperous societies across the globe. So, yung nakita diri dahil na yung mga bullets. So, mana ang target sa SDG 9. Develop sustainable, resilient, and inclusive infrastructures. Promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization. Increase access to financial services and markets. Upgrade all industries and infrastructures for sustainability. Enhance research and upgrade industrial technologies, facilitate sustainable infrastructure development for developing countries, and support domestic technology development in industrial diversification and universal access to information and communications technology. So, ako na silang giusa kay if isa-isa man lang ko sila, so super taas na. So, in short, these targets sa SDG 9, um, these encourage official development assistance and financial flows kana sila tanan, and to ensure nga kuan ensure that including foreign direct investments where to need is data is kanang kung asa ang kinahanglan is mas importante pa, and in particular list development countries like African countries, small island developing states, and landlocked developing countries. Landlocked developing countries means kanang na kuan siya na center siya sa mga country nga kuan kanang dili bitaw duol sa dagat, like sa laing nasod we can say nga like sa Zambia, located na siya sa Africa, center na siya sa ilahang lugar. So, far flung area ba ana gyapon na selected. So, next please. Next, CJ. So, next is SDG 10, reduce inequalities. So, reduce inequality within and among countries, which means is too much of the world's wealth is held by a very small group of people. So, gamay ra kayong naka-benefit sa wealth, the world's. And this often leads to financial and social discrimination. In order for nations to flourish, equality and prosperity must be available to everyone na walay ginapili na gender, lahi, or religious beliefs and economic status. So, by using these 10 targets to reduce inequalities, so reduce income inequalities, promote universal social, economic, and political inclusions, ensure equal opportunities and end discrimination, adapt fiscal. Adapt fiscal means ano siya? Adapt fiscal means wait lang. Nara. Adapt fiscal means is to or it means to kuan kanang bitang renews nga tax nga fiscal and society and social policies that promote equality. So this means to promote greater equality through policy interventions. Gina-renew sila ang mga tax or this implement policies to reduce inequality such as progressive taxations and social protection. So next is improve regulations of global financial markets and institutions, enhance representations for developing countries and financial institutions, responsible and well-managed migration policies, special and differential treatment for developing countries, and encourage development assistance and investment in least developed countries, and lastly, reduce transaction cost of migrant remittance. So as you can see, related siya sa mga kuan political inclusions. So this improvement or this goals or targets sa SDG 10 is to implement the principle of special and differential treatment for developing countries Gapon, in particular least developing countries in accordance with World Trade Organization or in short WTO agreements. So next please. So SDG 11, sustainable cities and communities. Make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. So this means is to ensure access to um, adequate, correct me if I'm wrong, safe and affordable housing for all. So, na-mention na ako sa target, safe and affordable housing, affordable and sustainable transport systems, inclusive and sustainable urbanization, protect the world's cultural and natural heritage, reduce the adverse effects of natural disasters, reduce the environmental impact of cities, provide access to safe and inclusive green and public space, assess strong national and regional development planning, implement policies for inclusion, resource efficiency and disaster risk reduction, and support least developed countries in sustainable and resilient building. So each of these target is to can create sustainable, resilient, and inclusive cities that provide a high quality of life for all residents, while minimizing environmental, environmental, local, basta ka to, kalimot ko sa kuan word. So next please, 12, SDG 12, responsible consumption and production. So it promotes sustainable practices and production and consumption to reduce environmental impact. It minimizes waste generation or reduce pollution and promote sustainable use of natural resources. So taas gyapon kaya ang iyang target. So ako na lang silang iusa. So all these targets is to promote sustainable consumption and production patterns, reduce waste and pollution, and to ensure a more sustainable future for all. So hapit ng time, please. Next. So next is SDG 13, climate action. So this reduce greenhouse gas emissions and mitigate the impact of climate change. This enhanced the ability of countries to withstand and adapt to climate-related hazards and natural disasters. So it's 5 target, no? So yosa lang gyapon nako. So each target aims to address a specific aspect of climate change, from building resilience gihapon and reduce the impact of climate change and promote more sustainable future. Next, please. 14, life below water. So conserve and sustainably use the ocean, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development. Each target gapon promotes to protect and preserve marine ecosystem and promote sustainable use of marine resources. So each target aims to address a specific of ocean conservation and sustainable use, from reducing promotion to promoting sustainable fishing practices. So next, please. 15, life on land. So this preserve and restore natural habitats and it promotes sustainable use of ecosystem, reduce the degradation of natural habitats, halt kanang ginapos ang loss of biodiversity and protect threatened species. So, if basa mo sa each target na nakabatan diya, prevent invasive alien species, which means dili alien yun nga sa gawas, no? It means that non-native species. Kung sa ocean pa, like lionfish, maglahi ra siya sa mga isda. So sa land pa, kanang mga dili native na mga animals. So, this introduce measures to prevent introduction and to prevent introduction and reduce impact of invasive alien species by 2020. So each GAPON target aims to address a specific aspect of protecting and restoring life on land, from conserving ecosystem to combating poaching and trafficking. So please, next. Last two na lang sa SDG. So second to the last is 16. Peace, justice, and strong institutions. So, promote peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development, provide access to justice for all, and build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions institutions at all levels. So, it fosters innovation, build resilience gihapon, and reduce violence, promote peace, and ensure inclusive societies. And kuan gyapon siya, ensure equal access to justice and promote the rule of law and strengthen institutions. So kuan siya, naa siya 12 targets, so taas gyapon siya. So by each target, by achieving these SDG 16, we can promote peaceful and inclusive societies, provide access to justice for all. So next please, the last SDG is 17, partnership for goals. As you can see taas, gid kaayo iyahang target. Kuan siya. So 17, enhance international cooperation and partnerships to support sustainable development and to enhance policy coherence and coordination to support sustainable development. So by each target in SDG 17, we can strengthen the means of implementation and realize the global partnership for sustainable development, which is essential for achieving the SDGs katutanan and promoting a more equitable and sustainable world. So that's all from my part. May I call on again CJ Sausali.
Wow, na-miss good ko ha. Thank you so much, Miss Jasmine Tagadiad.
Oh.
So, call to action. Napamodar everyone? Okay, wala na ningog. So, let's proceed and continue. I know naramodara. Yes, I know naramodara. To achieve these goals, no, we need to do us our part. So, this is just a quick only ha. So, we need to achieve these goals. We need to do our part. The government itself, the businesses itself, the society. So in other words, kita tanan dari sa kalibutan. And then, how can we incorporate these objectives in our daily lives? No, we should try, or we should live in a harmonious, no, in a sustainable way. So for example, if atong improve ato ang consumption habit, mag-save tag energy every day, and then caring of course sa atong flora and fauna. So I know this is very hard sa ato kay lagi we people init na gid na ato nga natay pagkatapulan diri sa kalibutan, especially sa atong mga balay. Diba? Kablo na jud mo na sa inyong self. That's why sa United Nations nagimo na siya guide for us nga mga slackers, mga lazy people. And it's called Saving the World, a guide for slackers. So what is this? Wow, grabe ka ba? So unsa man ni siya? So, kunin siya, i-guide niya sa tua, no? To help, of course, no, to help preserve our planet. So, first is, mga simple lang, mga gamay ra kay nga mga butang. Pag turn off sa light, nga wala nagigamit, nga na, by unplugging appliances, nga kuan, nga wala nagigamit or gi-use, nga na. And recycle as we can. Of course, that is to conserve natural resources. And of course, use public transport instead of kanang mga kanang magkuan bitaw ka manakayan ka ni car isa niya. Gusto ka na ng mga butang. So instead of magnakayan ka, mubaklay na lang kabadlong NBSC pero mga tapulan lagi kayo ta, di ba? Nya, mahal ba kayong 20 pesos? So nga na. So that is mga simple ways. Of course, kana. And then kana mag-use ta, for example, another example, mag-use ta mga refillable nga mga sudlanan. For example, sa ato ang tubig, nga na bitaw. So that is to reduce plastic usage, of course, especially here in Northern Bukidnon State College, no, ginabawal, gina-promote agad nato ang walay magamit og single-use plastic. So that is kanang nga na ang lugar, ay nga na ang mga butang wala ta kabalo, but that has a big kanang contribution good in preserving our planet. So in achieving those objectives and goals nga naa sa SDG. And then, of course, let's be reminded, and the important of this SDG is kanang everyone, kita tanan, ato ang responsibility to respect and preserve our planet. And each of us can do something, no? Can do something different. Po, grabe. Atake. So, it doesn't matter how small nga atong ginabuhat every day, muna siya ato lang ginahabit, ato nang ihabit bitaw natong self na like nga ato nga mga butang pag turn off line nga na. Doesn't kanang matter nga gamay ra kana siya nga butang as long as we help preserve. So, as a little reminder for each and everyone, no, our planet is our home. And of course, no, and kana ang home, namo gyud nato mga silingan dira, mga importante man ang factor sa ato ang kalibutan. And of course, it's ato na siyang i-take serious nga ato yung pangalagaan ng pangalagaan ang atong planet, ato ang world, of course, to ensure our well-being and of course, to better future. And I thank you, Charot. Now, let's proceed to the next reporter, Miss Maricar Romero.
So, in continuation of CJ's nga gi-mention niya ganina, let's talk about sustainability and responsible consumption. Understanding how our choices shape the future. Next slide, please. So, what is sustainability? So, sustainability means meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. It's critical balance between protection, environmental protection, social equity, and economic viability. It's about balance between the environment, society, and the economy. Next slide, please. So the origin of sustainable development, origin of the concept is in the 1987 UN report, Our Common Future. This seminal report by the United Nations World Commission on Environment and Development introduced and popularized the concept of sustainable development. Its interconnectedness, it highlights the crucial link between the environment, technology, and society, emphasizing how human decisions profoundly impact the nature. It highlights how we humans and our choices affect the environment. Next slide, please. So now, let's talk about the three essentials or the three pillars of sustainability. The first one is the economic sustainability. The second one is social sustainability. And the third one is environmental sustainability. So let's talk about the first one, economic sustainability. It's making financially sound decisions that considered long-term environmental and social impacts, so such as job creation, innovation, economic growth. So the goal is to make decisions that are financially smart, but also considered future environmental and social impacts. So the second one is the social sustainability. It highlights or emphasizes the education, equality, health, and well-being. The goal is to support the systems that are fair and inclusive for everyone. The third one is the environmental sustainability. It talks about the climate action, biodiversity conservation, and the pollution control. So the goal in the environmental sustainability is to protect the planet's natural system so it can support long term. So it is also about the summarization of the SDG to number 1 to number 17. So now let's talk about the tactics or making sustainable decisions. So next slide, please. So now let's talk about the tactics on making sustainable decisions. So economic, social, and environmental. So now let's talk about the economic consideration. So evaluate the full long-term cost of a product or service, including its environmental footprint and social implication beyond just the purchase price. So we really need to think about all costs, including the hidden ones. So, social equity, it ensures that decisions promote fairness, respect human rights, and distribute benefits equitably among all stakeholders, preventing exploitation. So, we must be fair to all members of the society, and we really need to stop over exploitation. So the third one is environmental responsibility. So prioritize actions that minimize harm to ecosystem, conserve natural resources, reduce waste, and protect biodiversity. So we really need to avoid harm to nature. Next slide, please. So the problem of overconsumption or overexploitation. So more people equals more consumption, and more consumption, more waste and pollution. So kung daghan na kay tao sa kalibutan, so daghan na pud kay tag i-consume na mga kaning plastic. So daghan na pud kay maipon din yung mga plastic og waste nga mahimo siya og kaning environmental issues or pollution. So the solution is we must really think before we consume. Kay if there's an increase of an population pod, so overuse or ma-overuse ang overconsume ang mga renewable resources sa atong planet. So, next slide please. What is sustainable consumption? It means choosing goods and services that don't hurt the environment or the future generation. So, conscious choices. Everything we buy, may it food, clothes, technology, has an impact. Consider its entire life cycle, how it's made, how it used, and how it's thrown away or it is disposed of. So, ikon yun nato siya kanang we really need to be mindful sa atong mga kuan kaning mga gina-purchase and like sa mga plastic, like kanang mag-inom ta og kaning instead nga mag-inom ta og mga soft drinks, magkuan lang ta magdala lang tag mga tumbler sa school may na bitaw. And factors influencing consumption, so population growth, economic activities, technology, social values, government policies, and personal choices all plays a role in consumption patterns. So real world tips: reduce waste, reuse materials, buy local and seasonal food, and choose public transport and use energy efficient appliances. So, ang nakapik aning sustainable consumption is the kanang pollution, technology and economy, social values and government policies, and our personal choices, of course. So, we must really think about sa atong mga ginapalit good guys, and we really need to choose eco-friendly and ethical options. So why it's matter? Each of us makes difference. So we really need to have a kuan kaning choices, big or small, nga makatabang sa atong planet. So next slide please. So Nara, why it matters, your impact. Each of us makes a difference. Our actions, whether large or small, collectively affect the health of our planet. Sustainability is about making daily mindful choices. So clear na magid guys sa mga kanin sa praise pa lang. So sustainability is about responsibility, and together let's build a world that is livable, fair, and green. That's all for my part, and may I call on Ate Cha to further discuss the topics.
So good afternoon once again, everyone. Madungog ako.
Yes, Ate Charlotte.
Okay, now let's talk about environmental ethics. Before tayo proceed, let's talk about the sa Earth. So, ang Earth daw is 4.6 billion years old. And it has been in existence for about 4.6 billion years. If i-convert to nato ng 4.6 billion years into 46 years, ang existence sa humans kay 4 hours ra daw. O ang Industrial Revolution is nag-start lang siya only a minute ago. So, sa itong Industrial Revolution, it is when the machines and factories, the technologies improved life. So, kung sa 46 years, 4 hours ra ang ato ang existence, unsa na lang kakatiting sa or kataas atong existence if 4.6 billion years, which is the reality gyud sa existence sa Earth, di ba? Sa next slide sa. So, pwede mo mag-on sa inyong mic. Pa-identify lang ako sa inyo ng mga pictures. Like, kung sa inyo nakita sa pictures. Anyone?
Trash, wildfire,
Pollution.
Air
Mental
pollution.
pollution.
and then
Yes. Right. Okay,
pollution
thank
sa
you.
dagat.
Thank you. It's the first one is the land pollution or waste dumping. The second one is forest fire. The third one is air pollution and water pollution. So sa kana lang short time na humans have lived in the earth, daghan na kay tag na overexploit na natural resources ug na threaten na nato atong own survival. Gipollute nato ang seas, we pillaged the forests and mountains so much that the animals have begun to exhibit strange patterns of migration and erratic behavior. So kana nga mga changes ang hinungdan ana mo arrow down gyud sa humans miski kadjut ra kay ta nga nag-exist. So next slide ay okay. Sa global warming pod, di ba, ang global warming it caused severe environmental problems. So apil na dara ang mass extinction of plants and species, and oceans are polluted, forests are destroyed, mountains are destroyed. It disrupts animal behavior and migration. So mura siya. Gamay ra na siya nga fun fact. So ayos na Jay. Sa kuan daw sa year 2100, the world's population is expected to grow nearly 3 times. Sa na-discuss atong kadumdum atong video nga gipa-analyze ni Ma'am sa una tong about sa population. And as people continue to believe in progress and improvement, our desire to consume, it has become a big driving force of life. And ang hinungdan ani is ang technology. Kay ang humans, we can take more resources from nature through technology, making our life more comfortable and convenient, right? So technology has helped people live longer. Pero ang pangutana jud ana, what for? Nganong gagamit ang technology? Why are we living longer? When people seem to want things just for the sake of having them without really knowing why. So sige ra tagpalit og sapatos, sige ra tagpalit og bag, daghan na kay tag collection. Maski di siya necessarily nga need nato, pero for the sake lang nga natay gion nga ana nga mga butang. And as people gather more and more possessions and live longer, sa atong cases karon di balhan kay mga health problems, miski mo na siya ang case, ang mga companies they keep supplying their demands, and mo na siyang gatubo ang production ug ang consumption sa mga tao, and as that grows, the production consumption grow, ang environment is ma-force siya to its limit. So ma-force siya to provide what people need more than what it can handle. Sabtan ra? Introduction pa ni siya guys, sabtan ra?
Yes, Ate Cha.
Okay, so when we think about ethics, di ba, ang una gid mo sulod sa itong huna-huna is how we treat others, mga morality na lang, mga moral ethics, ganyan, mga relationship nato with other people. However, we often forget that our relationship with the environment is what makes life possible daw in the first place. Kaya our connection with others, depende siya on the environment that gives us life. So if we take care of our environment, it means that we are taking care of others too, because everyone needs the environment to survive. Kanang murag, if you neglect the environment daw, gina-neglect po nimo ang other people. Kaya ang other people is nahimulos man gyapon siya sa environment. Nasabtan ra siya, guys?
Yes, te.
Si CJ ray nakasabot. Ang sabtan wala. Everyone needs the environment to survive, so we must act responsibly to protect it for everyone's well-being. So next, what is environmental ethics? So it is a branch of ay sa balik sa Jay. It is a branch of a philosophy that examines the moral relationship between humans and natural world, including how we value and utilize Earth's resources. So it considers duties to animals, living beings, and the land as a whole. Ang environmental ethics daw, it started when asan naman to? The rise of environmental ethics started back in 1950s and 1960s. Katong Cold War nga naka-experience ang mga people og nuclear destruction or nuclear annihilation. And next slide dayon. Tungod ana nga mga panghitabo. Next slide, Jay. Tungod ana nga mahitabo. Balik sa kani si Rachel Carson nagbuhat siya og book nga gititled ang Silent Spring. So sulod ani nga book gina-expose niya ang accumulation of deadly pesticides and toxins throughout the food webs. So kaning phrase na the road we have long been traveling is deceptively easy, a smooth superhighway on which we progress with great speed, but at its end and lies disaster. The other fork of the road, the one less traveled by, offers our only chance to reach our destination that assures the prevention of our Earth. Ang pasabot lang gid ana guys is ang last chance nato to avoid the disastrous consequences sa ato ang mga activities, sa human activities, is just to take care of our environment. So I hope that's clear. Next slide, please. So let's proceed to the approaches to environmental ethics. So we have Peter Singer and Tom Regan on ethical treatment of animals, Paul Taylor and biocentrism, Aldo Leopold's land ethic, climate change and sustainable development. Next slide, please. So Peter Singer and Tom Regan and ethical treatment of animals. It focuses on animal rights. So let's start with Peter Singer. Si Peter Singer na siya book nga Animal Liberation in 1975. So it argues that equal treatment of all sentient beings, including animals. Ang sentient beings, muna siya ang mga beings nga maka-feel og feelings and sensations like emotions, thoughts, awareness of their surroundings. And he introduces the concept of speciesism, or the unfair preference of humans over animals. So, mo siya amo to familiar ba mo sa term nga anthropocentrism? Muna siya ang human-centric nga ang humans daw ang pinaka-top among all the species. And kani pong speciesism, na-compare siya to racism and sexism as a form of unjust discrimination. So, ito siya. Then, Peter Singer criticizes the use of intelligence as a basis of moral worth, not noting that some animals may be more intelligent than infants. So one reason people mistreat animals is because they believe that humans are smarter than animals. Kani nga idea, it justifies things like magpatay og mga animals for food or gina-use sila for experiments or mga testing. Pero si Singer gina-argue niya nga if ang intelligence ray reason nganong gina-treat nato ang animals, so di siya ga make sense kay if ang animals man ginabilib nato nga dili sila intelligent. So unsa lugar ang mga infant? Ma-compare siya sa mga infant. Kaya mga infant wala pa man sila intelligence, wala pa sila instinct. Mga ingani-ana. So if buhaton na to mag-kill ta og food, mag-kill ta animals for food, or low kay atong pananaw sa ilaha nga mga creatures kay wa sila intelligence. Inga na po lugar dapat atong pananaw sa mga infant. So muna ang stance ni Singer. So he is challenging the idea that we can treat animals badly just because they are not as smart as humans, asking us to reconsider why we treat animals so indifferently. So next slide, please. Okay. Singer argues that the ability to suffer or sentience should be the basis for the moral consideration. So instead of intelligence daw ang atuang basis sa moral worth, sentience na lang. Kaya nga sentience, it is the ability to suffer. So if a being cannot feel, wala siya interest, then murag to kick a dog is morally wrong. Kay maka-feel man ang dog og pain, so dili ta mag-kick sa mga dogs. Then while crushing a stone is not, so dili morally wrong ang pag-crush a stone kay di mo siya maka-feel. So if a being has the ability to suffer or feel pain, then kana nga species must not get in the way of its being included in the moral sphere. In short, all beings with the capacity to suffer equally should have an equal standing from a moral perspective. So, ang bottom line is animals should have equal rights with humans. Next slide, please. So, kang Tom Regan, he is a Kantian deontologist, believes that some animals have rights just like humans. So, paregyapon sila ni Singer og Stans. And that animals deserve moral respect not because they are smart, but because they are subjects of a life. I mean, the subjects of a life is na if having feelings, memories, desires, and can plan and care about their future. So, apil na dira ang humans sa subjects of a life. And if an animal is having an experience like that in their lives, it has inherent value and should be treated as an individual with rights. So when we say inherent value, ang existence pa lang niya daan is importante na. So dili magmatter kung maka-benefit ba ta sa iyaha, dili magmatter kung unsa iyahang kaya buhaton or di niya kaya buhaton. Iyaha lang yung existence alone is valuable na. So next slide. So if kanang mga animals nga mag-meet ana nga criteria is muna sila mga right holders na sila'y karapatan. They are not tools for human use. Therefore, according to Regan, it is wrong to kill animals for sport or for fun like hunting, use them for experiments, or raise them in factories for meat. So at the very least, humans must consider the amount of pain that they may be inflicting on other sentient beings no matter what their motivation. If we try to see daw nga other animals as beings of inherent value, God deserve gihapon sila og respect. If you are familiar with the
Hello, everyone.
hello. If you're familiar with the term moral consideration, napa ba ang kanan? Or I'm the only one talking na lang?
Yes.
Po.
Okay, thank you.
We're still here.
Next slide, please. So much for the animal rights. Now let's proceed to biocentrism. Balik sa Jay na kayo na miss na slide. Balik sa Jay. Jay.
Dari te.
Wala na wala lagi. Katong koan, Paul Taylor.
Hello?
Hello, naglag na si CJ. Katong Paul Taylor, nawala siya nga slide ay.
Ne?
Dili. Paul Taylor and biocentrism. Lo, sige, discuss naman ako. Dara na lang, Jay. So, si Paul Taylor and biocentrism. Okay ra. Diba si Singer o si Regan is, ang stance nila is, ang animals dapat na ay equal moral value sa humans. Si Paul Taylor said is, gina-argue niya that all living things deserve moral respect, not just those that can feel pain. So, dili lang ko itong mga sentient beings. Mag-include siya o mga plants and microorganisms. Nag-i-introduce niya ang the idea of teleological centers of life. Diba kaganina kang Singer kay subject of a life man to. Kang Taylor is teleological centers of life. It means organisms that work toward their own survival and being. Nanawari na si CJ. So kanido nga view ni Paul Taylor is called biocentrism. They include plants, microorganisms, not just animals. Ang biocentrism, it means all life forms have equal moral value. Jay, continue na lang ako ang lag. Ako man siguro ang lag ni. Hello?
Wala sa si CJ sa kung kwan eh. I mean, wala yung slide.
Te. Tilog kayo kung kuante bay.
Wait lang, ako na lang mag-share din. Gamay na lang
Hello?
man. Gamay na lang man kulang po. Wait lang.
Madungog ko.
Madunggan ka, but ang imong slide is dili ka
Hello?
Nagalag na
Everyone?
siya, oy. Chatin na lang ninyo palihog sa GC.
Hello? Oh my God.
Gila ka na si CJ. Ako saan chatan?
Madunggan man ka.
Di siya makadungog.
Wala ko internet dari nakikonek.
Hello, Jay. Ako na lang mag-share.
Hello? Oh my God.
Naka.
Dili ko.
Ina sa si CJ ba nga magtiwas ako. Gamay na lang kaayo. Ito man eh. Hello, makita akong screen. Hello, makita akong screen.
Yes.
Okay. So, balik ta. Next is Paul Taylor and biocentrism. So, si Singer og si Tom Regan is gina-argue nila is about ang animal rights. Si Paul Taylor, ang ihapod is that all living things deserve moral respect, not just those that can feel pain. So, muna siya including plants and microorganisms. He introduces the idea of teleological centers of life, or organisms that work toward their own survival of being. So as a teleological center of life daw, an organism exists for the sake of furthering its existence. So ang plant or ang organism na-exist ra siya para muluntad by undergoing changes and processes that improves its well-being. So in other words, ang tanan daw organisms, they move towards fulfilling their own ends. And so far as plants need water and sun for nourishment, if ihinder nato na, if bugna nato sila or i-deny nato sila ana nga mga butang, it would constitute a violation of their rights as a teleological centers of life. So apil de ang plants o ang microorganisms nagyahapon daw sila rights according to Paul Taylor. Kaniyang view is called the biocentrism, which means all life forms have equal or moral value. So, ano to siya? Saying humans are better because of abilities like math is unfair. So, given an instance lang nga ang humans kay maayo kay sa mga math, then mo tuo ta nga humans are better than other creatures because of that ability is unfair daw. Because each species has skills suited to its own needs, even plants. So, example is tree climbing is useful to a monkey than solving algebra. So, dito maghunahuna nga low ra kay ang monkey kay di sila kabalo mag-algebra. Pero kay dapat atong i-consider ang na di na nila field. Sa ilaha nga environment, sa ilaha nga pace, tree climbing is more useful ug mo na ilaha nga skills. So, na sila own pace tapos sila own skills. Muna ang gipaglaban ni Paul Taylor nga tanan living things deserve moral respect. So, to wrap it up, all living things should be treated with impartial respect regardless of their abilities. Nasabtan na, guys?
Yes po.
Okay. So, to continue with, may I request Miss Irish to continue if maka-continue si Irish? Napa siya last part kuan ka buo. 3 napa siya 3 parts si kuan si Irish. Di siya maka-report. Di siya maka-report no. Plus stress naman sa good. Dili siya maka-report, Jay.
Dili na ni hawa na daw yung left na ko, di ko ka-report ba na.
Yes.
So
Thank
I
you
guess
so
that's
much
it
for
our
listening.
presentation this afternoon.
Thank you,
So we
Fran.
will be continuing this report sa next na to nga
Tomorrow. Next meeting.
tomorrow, yes, tomorrow. So I hope you gained something and I hope you understood no sa among mga pang report this afternoon.